YouTubers, what's up? It's Mr. Voice Man. I'm here once again with the Ravens pregame analysis. Sorry about the lack of light here on my face, but hey, I'm saving you guys from looking at something you might not want to. Anyway, it's the Ravens' first game tonight. It's a Monday Night Football special against the Cincinnati Bengals of all teams. We always seem to play them pretty darn close, so it's definitely going to be an interesting, hard-fought battle. But let me tell you about some things that happened this offseason you might not be aware of. First off, Terrell Suggs, he's out for at least the first 6 weeks, if not more. He's recovering from Achilles injury, where he ruptured, not a complete full rupture and tear and just completely decimated it, but enough that it's kept him out of action for a while. No preseason, he's going to be missing for quite some time. So the pass rush is definitely going to be a big question tonight. Corey Redding, he leaves out for Indianapolis with Chuck Pagano, and Jared Johnson leaves us for San Diego. So some really key losses on the defensive side, which leaves our new coordinator, Dean Pease, with some definitely hard obstacles to follow. Without any pass rush, of course, obviously, cornerbacks and safeties, they generally tend to seem a little bit susceptible to the long ball, be a little bit, open to kind of being picked apart by somebody like Andy Dalton and A.J. Green this evening. So Dean Pease is going to have to scheme up something fierce for any blitzes he might need to come up with to get after Dalton and hopefully interrupt his timing just a little bit, because without Terrell Suggs and those 28 or 16 plus sacks he had last year, it's definitely going to be something very big missing from that side of the ball. And as well, Jarrett Johnson not being there, he always, for some reason, a lot of people in this town always viewed him as a pass rusher, which he never really was. I mean, when he was asked and at the right time, he blitzed and he usually got there. But he was more than adequate. I mean, he was one of the best linebackers in the league at setting the outer perimeter when it comes to defending against the run. You always hear about those cutback lanes and everything else. Johnson was the reason why people would have to run back towards the inside, towards the likes of Ray Lewis and Haloti Ngata. Now that we don't have that, we enter in the likes of Albert McClellan. And, he's a special teamer. He's been a fill-in here and there. But now the starting gig's his, and we'll have to see if he can't step up to the task. And Kerry Williams, another big issue. He just has hip surgery in the offseason. He turns down a 3-year, $15 million extension to stay with the team because he feels he can be a number one somewhere. This preseason, he hasn't shown it whatsoever. He's been picked on multiple times. Julio Jones from Atlanta made him look foolish and just darn right like he didn't belong on a football field. So you got to see if he can bounce back, because Dalton's going to look his way early and often, and if they start something up over that kid, it's going to be a long night on that side of the football field. Offensively, the O-line, once again, is always a big question mark. We have Bryant McKinney back. Is that a good thing? We're not so sure. We signed Bobby Williams to be the left guard. He didn't look very, just polished or very good at all when it came to the preseason. He was thrown around fairly quickly. Matt Burke, he's back at center again, another year older. And if we all remember the Patriots game, Vince Wilfork dominated him at the point of attack. So hopefully having Gino Gradkowski, our draft pick out of Delaware, he might be able to, alleviate and keep Burke fresh as the season progresses, and hopefully keep him in there as long as possible. And then, of course, the right side of the line, that's our bread and butter right there. Marshall Yanda, Michael Lohr, and the new draft pick, KO, which, let's see if I pronounce this correctly, Kelechi Osemele. He's really shown some amazing skills so far this preseason. A lot of people high on him. Don't think he's going to make the transition over to the left side, but if we ever have to push Michael Lohr back over to the title of his movie side, KO should fit in nicely there on the right side as our starting right tackle for many years to come. This wide receiving core is deeper than I've ever seen on a Ravens team. Probably have to go back to Vinny Testaverde's days to see this kind of talent. We bring back Anquan, of course. He'll be starting off in the slot. Torrey Smith looked absolutely insane this preseason. The route running is a lot more polished. The speed is still there. I really expect him to become that number one guy we have sorely missed. Jacoby Jones, he comes over from Houston more as the punt and kick returner, but he also had some things on the other side. And then you keep your eye out for the likes of Tandon Doss, Deontay Robinson, or Laquan Williams, Maryland's own. It's a complete package, and you also have to You can't forget about the tight ends, Dixon and Pitta. They're always there in the thick of things. So, yeah, that's an already explosive backfield with Vontae Leach, Ray Rice, new draft picks Bernard Pierce, and undrafted free agent Bobby Rainey, who was the talk of the camp. The offense might look to overtake the defense this year in importance of how this team does this year. Flacco looked absolutely phenomenal. He was allowed to kind of run and gun do his own thing this year, or preseason at least, and it showed up that he can handle the rigors of doing that. So now that we kind of covered everything that's happened, let me just kind of get right into it. Offensively, if they can give Flacco the necessary time, he should be able to finally beat the cover 2 defense. That's been one of the things that drives him bananas. But for the first time, he seems confident enough to throw inside the numbers instead outside of the numbers against his defense. Leon Hall and the rest of the Bengals' backside and front side have given him fits recently, and he never seems to perform particularly well. But I think with Smith on the outside and allowing Q to set up into the slot and match up against some of those linebackers, should be very good for the passing game and hopefully open up some short yardage running situations for the Mr. Ray Rice and co. Defense, as I say, if we can set the edge and somehow disrupt Andy Dalton's timing, even if it is just one sack and a bunch of hurries from Pernell McPhee and Paul Kruger, should be the Ravens' game to win. That being said, if all those things go right, I see us probably walking away with this one more than people would think. I'd see a 27-14 victory. But if those things don't go too well, it'd be a hell of a lot closer than that. If we can get a couple lucky breaks, maybe a 24-21. But if there's no pass rush, Dalton has the ability to pick our secondary apart. And I'd hate to say it, but defense doesn't step up and the offense doesn't show the improvement from the preseason. Could be Bengals' victory here on Monday night. But I go with my hunch on this one. Harbaugh has this team perfect at home. I believe one loss in the entire time he's been our head coach, or at least on Monday nights. It's a national stage. The untimely passing of Mr. Modell, so the entire team will be emotionally charged to at least get one and win one for Art. So all else said, I think our boys in purple, they walk out of this one with a W tonight. 27-14 be my prediction. So that being said, guys, thanks for watching, and here's hoping to a Ravens victory.